What's up, homie? I'm Nomi and welcome back to Nomi Point of View. Today's challenge is simple. We walk the entire length of Manhattan in one day, which is roughly 15 miles.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
From Inwood all the way down to the Battery Park, I'm going to be showing you some of the best spots around town. Now let's hop on the subway and go to the starting point, which is the 207th Street. Alright homies, this is officially where the walk begins, and frankly speaking this does not feel like New York City at all. Feels like I'm in the middle of some forest. Alright homies, listen to the bird songs now. If you dropped somebody here blindfolded, they would never be able to guess that they are in Manhattan. Inwood Hill Park is the last natural forest left in Manhattan. We've got caves, rocky trails, old Native American history, and somehow they still exist on an island packed with skyscrapers. And somehow 5 minutes later, you end up in medieval Europe. The Met Cloisters is basically a medieval style museum hidden in Upper Manhattan, and I feel like most tourists don't even know this place exists. I really enjoy exploring my city, and from time to time I try to visit different neighborhoods and walk street by street. And at this point I honestly can say that I know about New York City more than the native New Yorkers, and that is kind of big flex. And homies, as we head south, Manhattan slowly changes, the quiet forest disappears and Harlem begins. One thing I'm already realizing is how quickly the city changes block by block. City College has one of the nicest campus in Manhattan. Let me show you. The architecture here feels completely different from the rest of the city. The building style almost make it feel like a European college campus than New York City. Harlem isn't just a neighborhood, it literally shaped the music history. From jazz to hip hop, some of the most influential names in the world were born right here. This is the Apollo Theater, where legends were made. Michael Jackson performed here before becoming a global icon. Alright homies, 100 blocks done and only 100 more to go. Let's see if I can make it to the battery park before sunset. At the moment I'm feeling good, but ask me after a few hours and the answer might be different. Alright homies, after walking through Harlem and soaking in all that history, I have finally reached Central Park, which is the green heart of New York City. Homies, this might actually be the best running view in the entire city. You are in the middle of Central Park, right next to the water, while you still see the beautiful skyline view as you see behind me. This is the Jacqueline Kennedy Oasis Reservoir, one of the most iconic spots in the entire park. The full loop around it is about 1.5 miles, and this has to be one of the best running views anywhere in New York. Switch path from the Central Park to the Upper East Side. This is Guggenheim, one of the most famous modern art museum in the world. And honestly, the building itself almost looks like a spaceship dropped into Manhattan. Alright homies, I'll go inside some other day and make a full vlog about it, but for now I'm gonna grab some frozen yogurt and recharge a little bit because I still have a long way to go. The weather is kinda hot, so got my yogurt. Then you reach my favorite and one of the greatest museums in the world. Alright homies, the Met is one of those spots where you can spend a whole day but still not see everything. And I'm honestly thinking about making a vlog about it because it's totally worth it. Just a few blocks away from the Met is the Mark Hotel, which is one of the most iconic luxury hotels in Upper East Side. And it is also home to the Mark restaurant by the Michelin-starred Ron George, so definitely worth a try. This part of Manhattan feels insanely polished, beautiful old architecture, luxury hotels, designer stores. Everything here just looks expensive. And then just a few minutes later, Manhattan changes again. You go from luxury storefronts and traffic to one of the most iconic skyline views in the entire city. This is probably one of my favorite view in Manhattan and also a good spot to take pictures. You see these massive ultra luxury towers behind me rising over Central Park, especially Central Park Tower, which is the tallest residential building in the world, where the penthouse has been listed for around $128 million. Right outside Central Park, we have the Plaza Hotel, classic old money Manhattan, and across the street, probably the most famous Apple store in the world. And right behind this area, you can also spot Steinway Tower, one of the thinnest skyscrapers in the world, which honestly looks almost unreal from different angles. Alright homies, I'm diverting away from the straight path so I can show you the Billionaires Row, which is one of the few most expensive blocks in New York City. This part of Manhattan is pure luxury overload, with basically every top brand having its flagship store here. Alright homies, we're back on the 5th Avenue and this is the version of New York the world imagines, with massive buildings, non-stop energy, lots of tourists and an iconic spot on every block. Alright homies, we made it to the Times Square and frankly speaking, this walk wouldn't be complete without including Times Square in it. Times Square is complete sensory overload. Tourists everywhere, giant screens lighting up every building, street performers, non-stop traffic and noise coming from every direction. Walking all day, Times Square feels even more chaotic. Alright homies, I made it to the Bryant Park and it's crazy how this is so different from Times Square even though it's just a few blocks away. And this is what makes walking in Manhattan so interesting as the city changes every 10 minutes. Bryant Park feels unbelievably calm compared to the chaos nearby. In the winter, this place turns into a huge ice skating rink, and during the summer, they host free movie nights right here in the park. Alright homies, now we have reached one of the most iconic buildings on planet Earth. The Empire State Building was completed back in 1931 and stands 102 stories tall. And even almost 100 years later, it still feels legendary. What's crazy is no matter how many new skyscrapers get built in New York, this one still feels like the main character of Skyline. It is one of those buildings that instantly make the city feel cinematic. For decades, this was the tallest building in the entire world. And at night, when the lights turn on, the whole tower completely changes the atmosphere of Midtown. This is classic New York City. And homies, just a few blocks later, the energy changes again. Madison Square Park feels like a calm, small pocket right in the middle of the city. You've got people relaxing on benches, dogs everywhere, street musicians, and skyline views surrounding the entire park. And homies, right next to it is the Flatiron building, which you must have seen in many movies, and it is too unique to be real. This area feels like old school Manhattan mixed with modern New York. And after walking for hours, this park honestly feels like a perfect reset before continuing downtown. This park feels like center of downtown culture. Musicians, students, artists, everyone passes through here and is surrounded by New York University. Homies, this park is peak downtown energy. Even though I already live in Manhattan, but if I had to pick one neighborhood, that would definitely be the West Village, because the vibe here is very lively and different from the rest of the city. The West Village feels absolutely nothing like Midtown. Smaller streets, classic brownstones, cozy cafes, quiet corners, everything here feels slower and more relaxed. It honestly feels more European compared to the rest of Manhattan, and this is probably one of the most charming neighborhoods in the entire city. Alright homies, as you reach Soho, the downtown gets trendier. Soho is full of cafes, luxury shopping, tourists and content creators everywhere. It is also the fashion capital of the city. The cast iron buildings and cobblestone streets give this neighborhood a completely different vibe from the rest of New York. Everybody here looks like they are either a model or a startup founder.
But like you guys.
A little further downtown you reach the Bean, Manhattan's version of Chicago's famous Cloud Gate sculpture. The mirrored surface reflecting the buildings around it makes this one of the coolest spots in downtown to take pictures. Alright homies, the townhouse you see behind me belongs to Taylor Swift, and this Tribeca area has become very popular among celebrities because of how quiet it is compared to the rest of the Manhattan. The Oculus looks incredibly futuristic while One Trade Center stands over everything, and seeing this area after walking through the entire island honestly feels surreal. This tiny section of Manhattan controls global money, and Wall Street got its name by the wall built by the Dutch in the 1600s to protect their settlement. And today it is home to New York Stock Exchange, the Charging Bull, and some of the biggest financial institutions in the world. This is probably the fastest moving part of entire city, where billions of dollars move around every single day. Alright homies, after 50,000 steps we finally made it. From forest to skyscrapers, from Harlem to Wall Street, from sunrise to sunset. This is Manhattan. And walking the entire city in one day makes you realize that Manhattan is not just one city. It's a stack of different worlds packed together. And after walking for 15 miles, my legs are completely finished. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Alright homies, we are making great progress. Alright homies, we are making progress. Alright homies, we are still moving. Alright homies, we are still alive. My legs are dead. This is probably my favorite neighborhood in New York City. Actually, I say that about every other neighborhood. Welcome back to NOMI Point of View. Today's... Okay, let's see how it is. The townhouse you see behind me belongs to Taylor Swift. And Taylor, if you're watching this, then like, comment and subscribe.